start?
Do we start?
Okay. Okay, good morning everyone.
Morning. Morning.
Today we have another section, because at Pacificwide we commit to provide, education and also the training for everyone. If you attend the previous training, we have different sections, from escrow company, they got the company and train. We have the training for mortgage, we have the training from, like sales. And today we have another section. It is another sharing from, agents of the company. He is very experienced. He, joined many classes before, and he's, in the field for so many years. So today he's gonna share his experience and also the knowledge to everyone. Let's welcome Alex.
Well, that's a very good introduction there. I don't know if I can play the part.
Don't get him so hyped up where he'll start wanting to become a real trainer.
No. This is just a sharing of what, pretty much what I know. Anyway, just want to start by asking, how many people here are 1 year in the business or less?
1 year or less.
1 year or less.
I feel like it.
Okay, what about 5 year or less? Really? 5 years or more? That's me. Oh, okay. But I think either way we can understand each other here that we have a responsibility being a real estate agent. We were given a license, not just to put in our wallet, right? Yeah, that license that means something. We are licensed to sell real estate. I mean, some people, some agents have forgotten about that. So they have
You take the license and put it on Facebook, that's it.
Yeah, and also they print it out and then put it on the wall.
Yeah.
I see that a lot of people do that. So realistically, we have to remind ourselves that we have this license that we renew it every 4 years, and we just don't put it in our wallet. We gotta use it. We gotta use to sell homes.
Convert it into money, man. Convert the license to money.
Exactly, convert it into money. Okay. Okay, very good. Now, warning. I want to give you a warning. Please do not, I repeat, do not stop what you're currently doing or using to get business, okay? Because you're already making money. Well, this training is presented to you to be an add-on to what you're currently doing. To add 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe 5 more until 10, or maybe more, depending on how motivated you are. So, depending on how motivated you are, that's the number of deals you can add on to what you're currently doing. Is that fair enough to say? So,
I'll take one.
you take one?
I'll take one extra one. I'll need it for the holidays.
Okay, very good, very good. I have found out, being in the business for so long, I mean, I don't know, it's been 23 years. That's just too much, that's just too long. I mean, Gabe was with us in one of the companies that we work with, and all we do is really, keep training, because the company gets us to the training. Okay, which I would say I don't mind, because it gets us prepared whenever we're in front of everybody or every client. All right. So what we have found out is there are only 2 sources of business out there. Can anybody? I mean, I don't know how to do this, but yes, sir.
You see how long he's been in the business?
There are 2 sources of business.
There's technology now.
Oh my God, that's 22 years ago. We don't have this one.
It's all by faxes.
We have telecommunication, like telex. Yeah, we did that before.
Yeah.
Anyway, there are 2 sources of business only, as far as I'm concerned. There are people you know, okay, and the people you don't know. Well, in this room over here, can you count the number of deals that came from your family, from your friends? I mean, I don't know how many there are, okay? So it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything come from our families. Now our families is just so small. We will run out of people giving us business.
My experience, Alex, I don't like to work with family.
Okay, I understand. well, we still need to identify the people we know. Yeah. As far as family is concerned, can you believe how to deal with families? Like you said, that's tough, isn't it?
They can yell at me.
They can yell at you, and they will look like, how much are you making from this deal? Is that right?
Their expectations are ridiculous.
Their expectation is ridiculous. They're too high, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
They watch you from every angle, right? And then there are friends. You know, people that you hang around at the tennis courts, or maybe at the, I would say the church, or maybe at the bowling alley, or anybody that you hang around with, right? Again, they're just a handful. And they can only buy one house at a time, right? They don't buy 2 or 3 every week,
No.
right? And then there's the people you don't know.
There are many.
Yeah, and from A to Z. Actually, if you use the alphabet, you can start from A, your accountant, right? B, your banker. C, your cashier. D, your dentist, your doctor. All the way to Y, which is a Yahoo person who does a website. So you can have all the people out there to be your clients. Okay, so which one is bigger here?
People, I don't know.
People you don't know, right? Actually, you could be at the grocery store falling in line there. You can break a conversation with the one in front of you and say, hey, how are you doing? Right?
I like the people in the G group. Google.
Google. Well, we need to go to the country club probably. Huh?
So how can we find the people from A to Z? What kind of database you can find the country information on?
Well, as far it's really A to Z is pretty much everybody. If you want to do a simple example, is the yellow pages. You know what I mean? That's everybody's there. But what I'm saying here is that you go out, you go to the store. Before you even give your check or your credit card, you just say, "Hi, hi, Mrs. Cashier or Miss Cashier. I happen to be in real estate. Do you know anybody who would like to buy or sell?" Before you give your credit card, before you give your check. Because the moment you give your credit card, they slash and then they let you go. Yes?
Yeah, or maybe we have a plan how to get more A to Z group of people, right? This is the group A is kind of friend and family. A to Z is with anybody. But in order to get to expand it or to get more chance or opportunity to meet those people, we can have a go out. And go out, we could create a plan to go out. Attend the event or maybe
Go to the church.
Go to the church, communities,
Do volunteer work.
parties. Those people is A to Z, right?
Yeah, from A to Z, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can really streamline that and sort it to by groups.
Right.
But in this particular case, we're just talking about on your normal days, you just go out
Yeah.
and just spend money. But the key here is that before you give the money, why not ask for a referral? It's really asking for it, all right? But everybody here is so scared or maybe shy to ask for a business. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Right.
Well, let me ask everybody, how many people from here go out in the morning and buy coffee or something, I mean, at a store or a Jamba Juice? How many of you, show hands? How many?
No, I buy car. Starbucks.
Any shows, anything.
Starbucks.
In the morning.
Starbucks.
Wow, everybody eats at home? And then how about for lunch?
Yeah.
You go on
Go to lunch.
Show your hands.
Go to
I'll
lunch.
go lunch.
Okay, and how about
Yeah.
dinner? How about dinner?
Dinner, we both stay home.
No?
Some.
Weekend, yes.
And the reason I ask is because at one point in time, that same what Alex is talking about is how many of those times have you actually told those people what you do for a living? Instead of just saying, "How's your day?" "Oh, nice, and you walk your way. But how many times have you actually taken that extra 10 seconds and actually said, "I'm a realtor. I specialize in this community. My name is Kevin." Right? I mean, have you ever done that?
No.
Have you ever asked yourself why you haven't asked? I mean, why you haven't told them?
Shy.
Secret agent.
We're all.
I think that's what it is. It's as if we become secret agents. We tell
And
we
we're afraid approach to tell the people straight, like you have to have a chance to talk, to introduce yourself, but it's hard. We don't know how to say. Just meet the people and say, "I am the realtor." It's not very friendly introduction.
Well, that's good. Actually, Leon is really jumping on the line here as far as our
Also, we're hitting on something.
yeah, we're hitting on something, which is good. Okay, so which one is bigger? So it's pretty much B, right? So the thing is, we don't want to forget the letter A, people we know, because they're already giving us business, right? If they're giving us business, the only thing you need to do is keep them there, and then remind them that you're in the business. All right. So A plus B, they'll give you letter C, right? Now that comes to which is next.
I
page.
have a quick story to share. Last weekend when I finished the open house, I go to Home Depot, to look for a few stuff for my clients because they buy a new homes, they want to remodel it. And accidentally I wear the name badge in here and I forgot to take it off, after the open house. So I'm browsing around in the Home Depot and a few people, they see my name badge and I'm a realtor and they come to approach me. How's the market right now?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I have I have 2 people actually come to me and ask me, about the market, about what's this Pacificwide? This is my first time to hear about it because, they I think Caucasian or something. But then, I got 2 contacts and I'm following up right now.
Oh,
So my point is, where's the name badge whenever you go shopping
anywhere you
or
wear.
anywhere, so you may get the list.
Especially with Pacificwide, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That used to work for me too. I used to have this, I still do. It's a t-shirt that Leon gave us about 45 years ago.
Most of the people have a name badge here, but I don't know where they put it. They left at home, in the car, somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, it's in the
I
car.
found this. We
It's in
should
the
wear
car.
every day now to make it a habit.
Well, with that example, I think it's a good example.
But not today.
I only wear it, usually wear it for the open house only. And when I finish it, I take it off. But then, for some reason I forgot to take it up on the
So next time, just keep forgetting, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, leave it there. Leave it there.
Troy, I want to see you wear it tomorrow
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You
Because
just wear from,
everywhere you go, they see
Yeah.
it.
you just wear from 8 to 5, after 5 p.m. and you can take it off,
Go
right?
home already.
Or maybe you can think it this way, with that 2 leads, if you can convert one on that, that's a pretty good
50%,
Yeah.
50% win race.
That's a good paycheck right there.
So I need to go shopping more, and I think that
Yeah.
I'll go shopping from 8 to 5.
Let's go around.
Good. Very good idea.
And that's your job. That's your job right there.
I'll do it free marketing for you.
See, just talk about shopping, so people see have a topic to say.
Well, that's good. Now you have another job,
Yeah.
shopping.
Yeah.
Shopping manager or trend manager.
Okay, now how do we how to reach out to these people? We're talking about the people we don't know. Okay, one way of doing it is do mass mailing. Okay, and number 2 is advertise. I know somebody who does mass mailing. I'm not gonna mention the name. He's been in the business. He's been a veteran. And what I hear is that it's 3,000 piece of mailing every month, and that's the whole year. He gets a good amount of business there, okay? But we don't know exactly how much will be his net bottom line. Okay, if we count the cost, 1 piece of mailing after everything is done, if it's an envelope or if it's a postcard, including the stamp, it's probably add up to $1 per piece. So that's $3,000. You multiply that by 12, that's already $36,000, right?
Wow.
If he does get 2 deals a month, 2 closed deals a month, that's 24, right?
One thing that I used to do was I used to do a lot of mailings in the past too, and it was kind of like a hit and miss. So then what I started doing was doing just door knocking, and I would still do the 3,000 or 2,000 a month, but I would pick out like 1 or 2 days out of the week for about 2 hours a day, and I would just go door to door and passing out flyers. And if I saw the families outside, I would take the opportunity and actually talk with them and say, "Hi, my name is Gabriel, blah, blah, blah," right? At the end of the month, believe it or not, I would have like 5 or 10 leads that otherwise I would never have. And so after like 2 months, I would have a database of about 20 people. And these folks, believe it or not, they're actually pretty welcoming. Every time that you would see them out on the street once a month, they would actually remember your name. For the most part, I didn't even remember who they were, but, "Hey neighbor, how are you?" I'm like, "Oh, you remember me." But it's the same thing what they're doing. You just pick out a neighborhood, do it once a month, and even if it's only 200 houses, but keep on doing it every month, and you'll start seeing that suddenly everybody starts greeting you, they'll know who you are, and eventually you'll actually get business from the neighborhood, but it will take a while. It'll take a few months before they'll actually start calling you, but once they start calling you, you'll start noticing that you'll start doing business in that neighborhood, and everybody's going to get to know who you are. So either A, you pay $1 per mailing, or take some time off your schedule and spend about 2 hours in one day and do it yourself.
Yeah, that's one way of eliminating the cost. You know, you do it yourself. However, it's still not free. You still have to do
Correct.
the printing, and also you have to go to the place and then do it
Yeah.
yourself. So you have the time and energy and the cost of the mailing. Okay. Now let's have a good example over here. Let's say worst case scenario, the guy was able to do like 5 deals a year out of the mailings that he got. Let's say it's not $3,000 per month. Let's say just very simple $1,000 a month. That's how much? That's $12,000 a year.
Yep.
Is that correct? $12,000 a year, and then he get 5 deals. You average commission here is how much? $10,000. Net.
Yeah, let's say 10.
Well, 10,000. That's $50,000. 10,000 minus 12. How much is that?
It's not bad.
28.
158.
Are you okay with that? That's the key. 28,000. Are you happy with $28,000? It's really up to the to the agent. Okay. If you want to keep it.
She's all 110.
So if you want to keep it higher, then just increase the mass mailing, from 1,000 to 3,000. Again, it depends. Now, there will be like, it's not going to be regular like 1 or 2 a month. Sometimes there will be months that it's just going to be dry. I mean, does everybody, do you think real estate is seasonal?
Kind of, yes.
Okay. But again, it depends on how consistent you are. Your income would be very, very inconsistent.
And also keep in mind that springtime, right? A lot of people, and especially with this market, you've been seeing a lot of the sellers kind of being resistant to selling. Now, if there's an increase in people wanting to sell their homes, say in springtime, then this would probably be the best time for you to start advertising in those neighborhoods that you want to take advantage of and start your marketing now. Whatever it is that you decide to do, whether it's mass mailings, door to door, or joining some local organizations within those neighborhoods, this would be the perfect time. The majority of realtors will probably be taking this time off. They're probably going to be enjoying their holidays and so on. But if you start doing your marketing now, you'll probably end up reaping the benefits 2-3 months down the line, especially in springtime.
Well, that is very good suggestion from Gabe, because of the fact that if real estate is what we call, you don't get paid after 90 days. It's 3-month cycle. If you don't do anything right now, 3 months later you don't have a paycheck. So if you're doing something right now, you got a lead right now, most likely that will turn out in a paycheck 90 days later. So it's a 90-day cycle. All right, so that's good. And also what you're saying is that this is the last quarter of the year, right? This is now October, November, December. If you do everything here, even though you don't get a deal right now, between now and December, most likely your January, February, March, you will have a paycheck coming in then.
Yeah.
Okay, you will have a deal. So it's like preparing for the next for the next quarter. Okay. Well, again, it depends on who you're prospecting right now. If you are doing the mass mailing and the advertising, these are all future prospects. They are probably not ready to sign a contract today. Now there is another set of clients or prospect that they can sign a listing today. Does anybody know what that is? Who they are?
For sale by owners.
For sale by owner can sign a contract right now, today, tomorrow, or this afternoon, if you know how to talk to them. The expired listing as well. Everyone know what's an expired listing? It's a listing that did not sell for some reason, right? Sometimes they're overpriced. Sometimes there's a tenant in there. It's so hard to show. So those are the people or the type of clients that can sign a contract right now. But the thing of it is that that will be another section that we're going to be talking about. Okay. Now we're talking about future business over here. So we have this mass mailing. We do advertise also. I know someone, or I heard someone that's doing this. It's very effective. But if you're doing it, you're doing it very recent. You don't get a client tomorrow. You may get a client over time. Does anybody agree with that?
Yes.
You put an advertising there, nobody will call you tonight. As soon as they see you going on the print advertising the last 12 months, then you make it a call. Okay? Well, sometimes they'll call you just to ask questions. They're not gonna ask you to, hey, list my house. No, they don't have to call you to list your house. They'll ask you a question. So you still need to be prepared. How are you gonna field that call? How are you gonna capture that call? How many times did we get a phone call asking about our listing and never got anything out of it because we didn't know how to field that call? Well, one of the questions that I always ask when the phone rings that, hi, how did you find us? You know, it could be a sign call, it could be an advertising, you know, or somebody referred him to you. So we need to know where the source is coming from. And at the same time, it's a referral, you might as well send a thank you card to the person that gave that to you. So, and at the same time, before you hang up, of course, you need to get their name and number. Okay? As soon as you get the name and number, you are ahead of the game because you can always follow up. Again, that's another section, the lead follow-up. Okay, we can talk about that. Now, what is the cost here? This is probably more expensive than this one. Would you agree? Okay. Now, who among of you will set aside $30,000 for your marketing for this year, 2015? That's it.
Leon.
Why not? I believe, you know, if you're running a business, you have to do that. We have to put money aside, just a budget for advertising. Okay? So, what's our option? What do we do? Yeah, one of the options is you told me earlier, you know, instead of using a stamp, you know, you just walk it out, right? Okay? Or here, you just use the email, you know, it's very cheap.
Yeah, I mean, when I was doing the mailings, I was spending each run, it was only like 200 mailings, and it would take me like a whole day. I remember Leon looking at me, I would be printing out folders, papers, everything. It would be like a whole day event, just folding and putting away and everything, and then putting the stamps. So at the end of the day, like you said, it's about $1 per little envelope, but it would take you like the entire day. I come to realize that I can just put together a little generic flyer, basically the same little flyer, and get like really top grade paper in color and everything that would only run me less than 15 cents a copy, and be able to pass them out. I remember I went door knocking with him and he saw, Gabriel, what are you doing? This is like really, really, really nice paper. It's very expensive. No, expensive is through the mail. Although this stuff is actually pretty darn cheap.
Yeah.
But these are like really thick piece of paper. I mean, it's hard to bend them. I mean, it's like really thick paper, but you just have to have it in you to do that 2 hour, thing once a week. But when you look at it as a company, I mean, how many of us are here? Like 15 of us, right? 10 of us. Imagine if all 12 of us are actually hitting a different neighborhood once a week. Imagine the business that will actually be generated, business that otherwise you would never have. And this is time that I can assure you each of us will actually have. I mean, I know that most of you are busy, but believe me, I know that we can all squeeze in 2 hours a week to pass out some flyers. But not only that, but health-wise, I mean, it's actually good for us too. I mean, the 2 hour walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Well, maybe with that activity, I believe you get something out of it, right?
Yeah,
You got
right.
leads that you're following up, or leads that you already put it in your database that you're following up right now. That could be business in the future, right? Okay. So what's our options? You either do this on a cheaper basis, or what we call the next topic, which is prospecting. Okay. Now the question is, we need to define what's prospecting is all about. Anybody know what prospecting is all about? I think we'll be talking about it already. So prospecting is a process. It's a process of finding people who like to buy, who like to do something, buy or sell real estate. Okay. Now prospecting is also defined. Another way of calling prospecting is a lead generation. Okay. It's also a process of finding people who wants to buy real estate. Now we have to find. Now, when we do prospect and we do lead generation, what's our goal? We need to find a lead, right? Now the question is, we need to define a lead. What is a lead? A lead is different from me, different from you, different from anybody here. A lead is defined as somebody who will buy or sell real estate in the next blank days. Are you looking for somebody who would like to buy real estate within a year? Or within the next 30 days? See, the number of days defines how soon you're going to get paid. If you're looking for somebody who would like to buy in 7 days, which I met a lot of people who are only prospecting 7-day leads. These are the people that they go after, the for sale by owner, the expired. That's what they do every day. They're on the phone, they're on the street, they go to the door and knock. Hey, your listing expired. Do you want to get it sold? So that's one of the things they do. They get a printout. They subscribe to a for sale by owner leads distribution. They pay. It's not free. So they get that lead every day, and then they map out and they go to about 2 or 3 expires. And all they do is knock on their door because there's no telephone number. They go. If it's in their neighborhood, they knock on their door and say, "Hey, Mr. Seller, my name is Alex. I noticed that your home is it didn't sell. Do you know why it didn't sell?" These people could be nice. It could be not very nice. They slam the door, and you just go to the next door. You just don't be emotional about it. Okay, it's a business decision. But some people are okay with that. Hey, you're too early. What can I do for you? Hey, I want to help you sell the house. Do you still want to sell it? If you get a good response, you need to know what's your next scrap. I work this area here, and I noticed that I can sell your home. When's a good time for us to get together? And I'll show you how we can. If you get the appointment, chances are you're already 50% a winner there. The goal is to get an appointment, not the listing. Get the appointment first, and then get a presentation, and then get a listing. Close for sale. But again, that is lead. How do you find your leads? What? Somebody who would like to buy in 30 days? I think that's average. We would like to work with somebody that would like to buy in 30 days. Now, do I mean that you need to throw somebody out if they want to buy in the next 3 months? No, but sort them out. This is the one that want to buy in 30 days, want to buy in 90 days, and then 6 months. At least you have somebody that you need to follow up. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Question.
Yes.
So how can you find a phone database for?
Good.
to talk
I'm
to
glad you asked. First of all, you need to know why you're going to be calling, right? You need to know why you're going to be calling. Let's say you're listing in Almaden, right? They have neighbors, right? Okay. There is a lead supplier out there. The two that I use is the Call Realty resource. Okay. It's a yearly subscription that you pay $397, and you can download all the addresses with phone numbers. $397 for a year.
What's the name of the website again?
Cole, C-O-L-E, Realty Resource.
And sometimes too, I'm not sure if title companies are able to do that for you anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
Oh, they're not able to?
No.
Just address and name.
Okay, so that'd probably be the easiest way. You just go and down, you
Yeah.
pay for the service and then you get all the information. And they'll break it down the way you want it, owner occupied, renters, people that have been there for so many years and so on. I mean, they provide you breakdowns.
Yeah, again, it depends on what's your reason for using the phone. If you want to just promote the listing and find out who wants to buy that house, just go by APN. APN is the parcel number. Because when you get the APN, they go around that listing. So most likely they know that that property is already for sale. Most likely they'll ask you, how much is it? You know what I mean? How big is it? Yeah, it's 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. They're asking $699. Do you know anybody who would like to buy it? Something like that. And then they said, no, but I'm interested in selling my home. Really? How long have you lived on your house? Where are you moving to? So it does create a conversation there. So you're not looking for buyers only, chances are you'll hit a seller there. A neighbor who would like to sell would like to know, can I compare? Basically they're calling because they want to compare their home. Maybe I can sell my house as well.
A few years back, I was watching this training video, and this is a southern realtor from back in LA, San Diego area, and she closes a lot, 200-300 deals a year, and then one of the main questions that she got being asked by other realtors is, what is it that you do that you're able to generate that much business? And it wasn't your referrals, it wasn't everything that we all think generates a lot of leads. She said that she spent about 8 to 10 hours a day on the phone, just calling people, just what Alex is saying, and just calling and calling and calling and calling. And she says there's a direct link between how long you stay on the phone and how many calls you're making to how many deals you're actually generating. And so she says the longer you stay on the phone and the longer you're calling people that you don't know, the more business you're going to keep on generating and generating and generating.
Well, again, calling 8 hours a day, I don't know if
That's
anybody can do that.
Well, all I'm saying, imagine if you're doing 1 hour.
But that's high level, okay? On the seminars that our trainer was telling us before, I met people who does it 2 to 4 hours a day. They will be on the phone, okay?
And what
And
was
they
the
have 2
production?
headsets, and all they have is a telephone number and 2 phones. They do that, 2 phones. They do that, 2 phones. Ringing over here, you keep ringing, and the other one picks up, and then they hang up on the other one, and they talk to the other one.
Oh, wow.
Oh my
They do
God.
that. I'm just sharing with you what I see, what I hear, and I'm just delivering you what it is. Okay. Again, 1 phone is enough. I mean, 2 phones. I said I can't do that.
Too much.
Too
So let's
much.
say you called to a stranger on the phone and want to talk to them.
Well, again, it depends why you're calling, right?
Okay.
If it's a listing that we have, of course you're looking for a buyer. Okay. You're looking for a buyer. We have a script for that. And then after they say, if there's no buyer, then you ask them, how about you? When do you plan on moving? And if they said, no, I'm not thinking about moving. Really? How long have you lived here? If they said 30 years, there is a chance that they'll be moving. If it's 30 years, 15 years, they've been there so long. Number 3 is, oh really? How'd you happen to pick this area? Oh, we moved from Georgia. Georgia, okay. So if you were to move again, will you go back to Georgia? As a matter of fact, we are. My wife is retiring next year, and we're thinking about that. So that's the one you need to keep. That's your 1 year. So you need to sort your leads. So it depends why you're calling. If you're calling to promote a listing, if you're calling just to find non-owner occupied rental properties are the ones that are rented out and the owner lives somewhere else. Sometimes they're tired of the renters. You have another script for that.
And the nice thing is that once you start going with the system, that you'll notice like within a 3 month, if you're really doing it, if you're really on the phone and making those calls, you will notice like in 3 months, you will have follow-ups for, like he was saying, 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And next thing you know, your phone is just going off the hook, just people calling you, you're making those listing presentations, things are just happening for you. But the one thing is that you have to be adamant about the system. You have to really, like you said, whether it's 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, 1 day a week, whatever. But once you start doing it, you will notice that you'll go from really not really doing much all day long to finding yourself doing a lot every day.
Good comment on that. However, to really make this work, you don't have to call 8 hours a day. You don't have to call 4 hours a day. You don't have to call 2 hours. Try to do it in a half hour on a consistent basis. Monday through Friday, you have this number, you have this leads here. Call for 30 minutes. See how long you can be on the phone for that amount of time. See, 30 minutes. How many calls? How many dials can you do in 1 minute? And how long can you keep the client on the phone engaged? I mean engaged, meaning you asking them a question and waiting for the answer. And of course, we're talking about real estate. See, if you're calling for somebody, for a listing that we just listed, chances are within 20 seconds you'll be hanging up because they will say, "No, I don't know anybody. Don't call me." I mean, I'm just telling you what kind of response I get, and you will get, "Hey, how much are they asking?" Those are the ones that will go about 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds, or even a minute. And then as soon as you find out that they have a need to sell, chances are it'll go 2-3 minutes because they'll ask question, you'll ask question. Yeah. And then just imagine if you get a lead for this week, let's say 2. And then you repeat that again next week, another 2. Now, within a month, you have 8 to follow up. If you can convert 1 and put somebody in contract, list the property and sell it, I mean, is it worth $10,000 a month? Okay, just a good question. All right, so it can be costly or it could be cheap. It's your choice. What is required here is your time. You need to put time.
But have to be consistent.
Has to be consistent. You don't do it today and then do it again next week. If you do it 30 minutes a day for the whole week, that's about 2.5 hours. It's not bad. Now, maybe when you get the hang of it, then make it an hour. An hour for the week, that's 5 hours. Then your lead conversion will go higher. Instead of getting 2 a week, you make it 3, you make it 4. Okay, now the key here is that not how many you're getting, how many are you converting. If you get 10 leads, how many can you set up a sit-down appointment? If you get an appointment 2 out of 10, you have 2 chances of getting a signed contract there. Just getting the appointment, sitting down with them at their house. At this moment, can you determine where am I heading here? Am I looking for a buyer? I'm not looking for a buyer here. I'm looking for a listing. I'm looking for a seller. And let me tell you why I'm not looking for a seller here. I mean a buyer here. Because the moment you put a sign up there, you automatically have a buyer. They will call you on your signs. See, this is a double purpose. Getting a listing will get you a buyer.
Real buyers.
Real buyers.
People that want to buy in 7 days, 30 days, yeah.
Okay?
I have a story to share about a face-to-face lead generation. 2 months ago, I have a listing in Evergreen. This is my very first listing, for the single house. And before I do the open house on the weekend, right, on Saturday and Sunday, like on a Friday afternoon after 6, I go to the area in the Evergreen. But before I go, they actually use the apps from all the public title, the working farm, to navigate the area around my listing. So I have a list on the owners, around the listing. I choose, who was Vietnamese, who are Filipino, who was, from another nationality. And for myself, I think like I have more connection with Vietnamese people, because that's my origin, right? So I have the name. I choose to go to that kind of house first. And then when the owner opened the door, I just, see the name. I have like the name of the owner already, so I can identify whether they are male or female. So when they open the door, I just say, hi, Chi Hoa. And they, they're surprised, why you know my name, For me, I feel like that's a way for me to build the rapport right there. I feel the connection with the people. So, and after I work around on Friday, I have like 1 or 2 lists, and I'm still follow up right now, to get, hopefully they will sign for the listing, but I'm not sure. Yeah, just, one of my experience, how to work around and find, the list for.
There could be one of the sections that we can get the title company and show us how to do the walking farm, load it in our telephone. Okay, any question over here so far?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, let's go to the next one. And that leads us to the scripts. Okay, are we running out of time?
No.
Are we good? Okay, yeah, and that leads us to the scripts. Can you tell me why people does not use the phone? Why knock on doors? Or talk to somebody at the store? Why?
I can tell you why.
Tell me.
About 5 years ago, technology took over.
Technology
and I think all the new realtors weren't introduced to that world. I think the new realtors, they're more in tune with Facebook, with Twitter, with all that. A lot of the new realtors focus on a computer generating leads versus if you've been in the business over 5 years, I think you have both. You have the old world experience where you've done the door knocking, you've done a lot of the face-to-face. The new folks that are coming into real estate, they're being taught how to prospect via the internet.
Sure. As a matter of fact, that is already an advantage to people who have been in the business more than 10 years. We have this, what we call hardcore people, knowing what to say, and now with the new technology, it still requires script.
Correct.
Even though you're doing an email, there is a script.
They haven't been taught that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the key here is whenever you're prospecting, do you tell a story? No, you don't tell a story when you're prospecting. We ask questions. How long have you lived here? And then if there's somebody why they want to say, I want to sell my home. Really? Why do you want to sell your home? See, why you want to sell the home? Where are you moving to? How soon do you want to be there? See, those are all questions. It tells you the time and what you're moving. See, prospecting is all about asking questions, and it's scripts. And we don't change the script. It has to be the same all the time, so you don't get lost on the process. See, when do you plan on moving? How long have you lived here? Where are you moving to? It's always the same, so you don't get lost. Because the customer will get you out of your tracks. They'll give you a lot of objections. How much you want to charge me? What's your commission? Now, this will throw you out. Will you take it for 3%? Will you list it for 1%? It will throw you out. Oh, looks like commissions are an issue for you. I'm going to talk about that.
I know other realtors, why should I use you?
I can sell it on my own.
There you go.
Really? That's great. As a matter of fact, it will be better if you sell on your own because you save a lot of money. But did you know? See, you gotta ask questions. Did you know that this may bite you back later on when you close your deal if you don't close it the right way?
That's a lead.
When do you plan on moving? Okay, so that's key. We have to be prepared on the things that throw to us by the client. The key here is you got to be confident from the beginning to end. The moment they throw you off, you just step back a little bit and then come back again. Because how many times we've been thrown out, and then next thing you know, you're getting out of the door already.
Yeah, and one of the things that the scripts are so important is probably 99% of us realtors will have the opportunity to take on a listing, but because you're not following the program, you'll be one of the 99% that will not get the deal. But the person that actually follows the system, that's consistent and follows the system, you'll end up seeing the MLS being updated with their name, because they're going to be the ones that get the listing. And then you'll say, oh gosh, that person, you'll blame the seller, but we never blame ourselves.
Exactly. Well, one of the things, our job here is to really find out the why they are selling. The moment we know why they're selling, the purpose of why they're moving, then it will be easier for us to help them out. If they're selling because the neighborhood is so bad, then we know how to handle that. If they're selling because they're being relocated, then we know how to handle that one. Okay? We need to know why they're selling. Okay? And the time frame, of course. When do you have to be in San Diego? Oh, my job starts next month. 30 days to sell. One of the questions is, do you already have a home there? No, I'm still gonna buy. Really? So in the process, if the house doesn't sell, where are you gonna stay? My company will put me in a hotel. Okay, good. Are you leaving the wife here and the kids while you're over there? We need to know where they're at. If they're in a position to keep the kids here, or they want to bring the family over there, then they will have a mortgage here, which is empty. The house is empty, right? The question now is, how long are you in a position to keep it vacant while we're selling it? Oh, I need to sell it right away. Then we need to price it aggressively, right, Mr. Seller? So, we're heading to be a service person right here. We just don't want to get a commission here. We just want to get the home sold in the right time, at the right time. Any question?
Clear.
Okay. Again, for every type of lead, we will have script. I mean, we gotta have a script. Okay. People at the grocery store, it's very simple. You just break in the conversation. Well, one thing that I forgot to here is that you have to wear something. Wherever you go, whatever situation you're in, you have to wear something. You gotta wear a smile. A smile is critical here. If you don't have your genuine smile, you're not gonna go to step 2. You gotta have a smile. Hi, how are you doing? It has to be genuine. It's not
Good morning.
Remember?
Good morning.
You were stepping on something here. I mean,
Yeah. That came in on the right time.
right?
Yeah, you have to have a great attitude.
Good morning, Alex. Ha 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 ha.
Smiling, not smiling.
Well, again, one of the things that I also learned here is that your result really depends on your attitude. Your result depends on your attitude. Your attitude. How's your attitude today? How is your attitude going to the appointment? How's your attitude? How is your approach? Is your approach aggressive, or is your approach, mellow? It depends on who you're dealing with. So, how is your approach? What's your approach? What's your attitude? What's your approach, and what's your expectation? If your expectation is to get that listing, you're winning already. Your expectation is getting the listing. You're halfway winner.
2 weeks ago, I went into Jamba Juice, and I think I was their first client. And so I went up to the cashier and I'm like, gosh, it's this early and you're like totally smiling. You seem to be having a wonderful day already. Why? And she said, oh, because you came in smiling. I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Right? But I thought about it all day. I was thinking about it all day. I said, you know what? There's something to that. Because the way we approach our clients is the business that we're going to eventually get. If we approach our clients with, I'm going to take their listing, I'm going to sell your house in 20 days. And if that's the story you're approaching your clients with, and you really mean it, the reality is that they're going to believe you. And they're going to give you that listing because they're going to say that you're very confident and they're going to trust you. Versus going in there and walking into that listing appointment being more worried about who they're interviewing, who else, you know. But if you're just going in there and tell them, look, that's what I do for a living and I'm going to sell your house. It's going to happen. And I'm going to sell it in 20 days. They're going to see through you and they're going to say, you know what, I do believe Kevin. I believe Alex. I'm going to give them the listing. Why not?
Yeah, just like when I door knock,
Yeah.
if you're smile, you smile there, and they open the door,
They're going to smile at you.
they smile at you. But if you're just like you scared, they feel
Yeah.
that you're scared. Door knocking, and it says they just.
They're going to say, what is he doing? What
Yeah.
is he or she doing at the
Because
front door?
I door knock,
Yeah.
and they feel that you're scared, or you don't. Oh, these people, or sometimes they pick on there, and they look at you in there, and it says, and you're smiling. They open the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we smile, they open the door and they say, okay, thank you, go away.
Yeah, yeah. What do you want? Oh, we just listed a home in your area, and do you know anybody who wants to buy that house?
But I think it's most of the case when I do door knocking, I met very friendly people. Yeah, with Gabriel. Oh, we can talk a lot. Gabriel talk about half an hour with one person.
We don't have that much time.
I almost do I finished the road, but Gabriel still talking. Yeah, some people very friendly, very friendly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes that.
It happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens.
It happens.
Yeah, you will find people that they enjoy talking to you, and sometimes it's hard to break the conversation. One of the things that I use just to break the conversation is that, hey, you know what? I have an appointment coming up, so I'll come back, and then continue the
I better start
conversation.
wearing a watch then. I'll be staring on my, I have an appointment.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I have another person to talk to, and I'll be talking to you later. I mean, that's a nice way of shutting them off. But
Yeah, we
that's-
have a limit time, right? Each person is
Exactly.
maximum is
Exactly.
3 minutes, 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can you imagine on one street, you have about 20 doors there. I mean, that's a lot of doors. I mean, can you imagine? Here's the problem. Whenever we go out there, you don't even know how many doors are going to open, right? Okay. If 20% open at like 20% of 10 is how much?
2.
2. If 2 opens, just be happy. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, if they all open, you'll be running out of time because you don't have that much time. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you get 2 or 3 people out there that talks to you, oh my God, it's excellent.
You can tell the house owner, okay, I have no enough time, okay, no time.
I mean, there's so many ways how to do it. Hey, you know what? I'll come back later. I'll be prepared for you. It's not something that promised to come back, but you better come back.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So A and B goes hand in hand here. Now then it goes to the next slide.
Go. Good.
He's still thinking about a door knocking. Door knocking.
He's afraid of door knocking.
So now we come to the real estate process. Now we found a seller. They want to sell. They want to move to San Diego. Of course, the best thing to do is get an appointment, right? So when we get an appointment, what do? We just give them the comparables. Here, your house is gonna sell at 650. Okay, go sign here. We don't do that. We have to prepare, right? So you will have a script for prospecting. You will have script for lead generation. Now we get a lead here, right? Let's say they're not ready in the next 3 months. You better get their telephone name and telephone number.
Email
Okay?
too.
And then you put them on your lead follow-up file. And then now we have a script for lead follow-up. We just don't call and say, hey, you know what? Are you ready to list your home? That could be a script.
I'm gonna share this with you, and please note it. 80% of the time, if you ask somebody, let me have your telephone number, 80% of the time they're gonna tell you, no, I got your information, I'll call you. About 90, at least from my experience, about 95% of the time, if you say, let me take down your number, 408, don't ask them, just say, let me take your number, 408, and then just look at them. 95% of the time, they'll pause, because they weren't expecting it, and they'll pause, but they'll give you their number. They'll give you, but if you go and say, let me have your number, most of the time they'll tell you, no, I got your card, I'll call you. And they won't give you their number. But if you start off, your telephone number is 408, and then just pause, they'll actually give you the number. Put it to try one of these days and you'll notice. I've had it with like 5 different realtors try it, and they've all come back to me saying that it's basically the same feedback, that the people actually will give them their number.
Is it the same way we do for dating?
Don't tell your kids that, okay? Do not share that with your kids. You'll be a parent with a lot of problems.
That's good. That's really good as far as getting the telephone number. I've used that, and however, there's so many ways to get the telephone number.
Yeah.
One way is, hey, you know what? Give me your number so I can follow up with you. Yeah, you don't ask for the telephone number. Can I have your number? You don't ask it that way.
You tell them.
They'll never give it to you.
Yeah, correct.
They'll never give it to you.
Yeah.
So you want me to follow up with you, right? And your number again?
For your age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're ready to write it down or get your phone and then put it in
You
there.
are at the area 650.
Yeah, 650. No, not for your age, 650. Yeah.
And going back to what you're saying on dating, you have a script for dating as well.
Oh, yeah. Give me one.
Okay.
You're in trouble, Liam.
When I'm talking to a seller,
That's a whole different
when I'm talking to a seller,
Next seminar will be how to date.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one right now.
Okay.
On a seller, you always ask them, do you want me to handle the sale for you?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's a dating, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you want me
Run away.
to go on date with you? Hey, do the same thing.
You're hired. Yeah.
You lost on that dating.
You gotta go like this. You gotta go like this, okay? You gotta give them the motion. You gotta give them the motion. Do you?
Yes.
Then you guys got problems over here.
Few more interviews, okay? Get back to you.
Okay, back to you.
Okay,
So you have another interview. What number I am? Can I be the first one or can I be the last one? See, you want to be first so you can get the other ones away, right?
Yeah.
Or you can say, please don't answer them, don't sign the listing yet until you talk to me.
Ah.
You can do that. You can be the first, you can be the last. But if you want to be the last, tell them, do you mind if you just don't sign the contract until you talk to me? Because I have so much thing to tell you about.
That's a good one. That's
So it means don't date the other guy until you date the
Cameron's taking notes. Alex, can we have you stay, Alex?
I will think about it.
How you think about it? Well, let's think it together. 2 minds is better than 2. Let's make it okay.
You mean that 2 days is better than 1?
Okay, so lead follow-up, there's a script for that, you call. When they give you a name and number, you know why they're giving you the name and number? To call. they want you to call them back. If they don't give you the number, they don't want you to call you back. They don't want you to call. But if they give you the number, call them. But if you forget to call in a week, call them in the following week, right? You know what they're going to tell you? Who are you? They don't remember you anymore. So you got to follow up the day after, or even in the afternoon if you get the lead in the morning, because they'll forget you. Who are you after a week?
I'm your
They don't know you. I'm your next date.
Oh, last one.
Or last one.
Or your Okay, so there's a lead here. I mean, there's a script here, and then there's a presentation. There's a buyer presentation, and there's a listing presentation or a seller presentation. Yeah, whenever you have a buyer, of course you gotta prepare all these properties that you need to sell, right? But you don't show the whole San Jose, or you don't show the whole Santa Clara County. So before you go to the presentation, the buyer presentation, you need to ask them, why are you buying? Yeah, how are you gonna buy the house? Are you gonna buy it cash, or are you gonna do a financing? Where's the down payment coming from? Are you renting right now, or do you own a house already that you need to sell before you can buy this? So you've got to prepare your presentation here if you have a buyer. As far as the listing is concerned, before you go to the presentation, you qualify that. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, before I come out, there are a number of questions I need to ask you. Okay? If what I say makes sense and you feel comfortable and confident that I can sell your home, are you planning to list with me tonight when I see you at 8 p.m.? They said, no. Really? Are you planning on interviewing other agents? Yes. Really? Am I going to be the first, or am I going to be the last one that you're going to interview? I mean, if they said yes, then you have to be more prepared when you get there, right? Because there's competition. And then you ask more questions. There's more questions than the pre-qual. But you need to know if you're the only one showing up. If they said yes, you're the only one, excellent. Good decision, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. So I'll see you at 8 o'clock. But you have more questions. All right? So there's a bar presentation, there's a listing presentation. And then, of course, closing is nothing but asking for a signature. Based on the prices that we have together here, Mr. and Ms. Seller, what price do you think we should use to make the buyer make an offer? So make them choose. You should have two or three prices over there, so they can pick one. If they pick the higher price, you ask them more questions. Do you really want to sell this within 30 days? I think we have to go to the other price. Alright, so closing is a natural ending to a good presentation. So if you know that they have to move in 30 days, it should be an easy closing for you. Alright, we need to know why they're selling. Why is the key here. We need to know why they're buying. We need to know why they're selling. Any question? Or anybody who would like to add?
So do you have a script sample that we can see?
Oh, they're all free. It's all in the internet. I can share that.
But you're going to talk to the...
Not today.
Not today, right? Okay.
Not today.
So we'll be, today is we present the A, right? So the B, the lead follow-up will be another section?
Actually, this is just a what we call a bird's eye view of the process. These are all the other sections.
Right.
How to close, how to do the presentation, how to do the lead follow-up, and of course how to prospect, where to prospect, when to prospect, what do you say, how do you lead follow, how do you do your lead follow-up. We'll do that. Okay.
But then in the next section, you will show us some.
There will be role playing. I think we role play a little bit earlier, and I did show you some. Those are simple role plays.
Yeah.
What to say and how to say it, and when to say it. So, again, I'm not the expert here. I'm just sharing with you, me and Gabe, what we have learned from the past. Yeah.
Alex, tell me what's the best when it comes to commissions negotiations?
Oh, okay. There's no best. I mean, whatever works, whatever you're comfortable with, we always use. You just need to have a number of ways to handle it.
How about you take one example? I think most people here we are struggle with how to negotiate a commission with a seller, and we end up we have to lower commission
Sure,
in
sure,
order to
yeah.
have a nice listing.
Sure, yeah.
Can you show us like one example so we can listen to see if people say, okay, how much commission Josh is?
Well, number one is you don't handle the commission on the phone.
Okay, first certificate.
That's number one. You don't handle the commission on the phone. You handle the commission on the phone, you lose them already.
So
They'll never call you
how
back.
do we, because people say, okay, well, how much you charge?
Oh, looks like commission is very important to you. That's one of the things that we're going to be talking tonight at 4 o'clock. Okay? Put that on the side. And then prepare between now and 4 o'clock. What do you need to say? You need to research. You need to ask a lot of people, what am I going to say? Will I take 4? Will I take 5? Will I take 6? What's good for the seller?
And we need to know the reason why they want to sell, so that reason would help us to determine the
Exactly.
commission.
I know that one of the scripts, and I just don't remember which one, but I know that one of the scripts said that when the sellers keep on asking about commission, one of the things is, are you ready to sign the contract today? So it's kind of leads you in there, and it helps you. It kind of like take the focus away from that. Because many times when they just keep on asking about the commission, many times they're not ready to list, but for whatever reason, they're just focusing on the commission. And it's not about the commission, because eventually you'll see them put the house on the market and they're paying 5-6%. So it really doesn't boil down that they want you to knock down your commission down to 4%. It's just for whatever reason they're putting their energy on that. But you as the realtor, if you convey, I know I spoke with one of the realtors, and I won't even say who she is. Oh, sorry, shit. And she told me that most of the time the sellers won't even bring up the issue about commission, because the way she presents everything, they see her as very professional and able to close a deal. That she says, oh, she just has the listing and it already has the commission. They don't even ask; they just sign. So if you're doing your job and they and the sellers feel very confident that you're going to represent them, they're going to pay you. And they're not going to beat you down on the 4% type listing. They're going to give you your full commission.
Well, the key here is that when they ask for the commission, right on the top, think about it, have I shown these people value? They're looking for value. If they see value, just like what Gabe says, they'll pay 6%. If they see value. But if they don't see value, you receive a telephone call, hey, I would like to sell my house, how much you charge? I mean, how could you present a value there on the phone? You gotta make an appointment first. You gotta, ask more questions. What are you selling here, by the way? I'm selling a house. Oh, really? Why are you selling? Where's the property at? We need to know exactly where they're coming from before we can even talk about the commission. I mean, will you take a 6% commission, but they are overpriced? That's a waste of time. Let's say the value is 500 and they want to sell it at 650. Right.
I have a question, Alex.
Yeah.
How about a seller? They saw your value, and they notice how much you dedicate to sales their property. However, they still try to negotiate the price. The commission.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Okay, they're still hammering on the commission, right? But they see value, right?
Yeah, because I have the real case. I met a seller a couple of times to show them what can I do to sell the property. But then, the final day they asked me how much you're gonna charge me for the commission. I told them this is how much I charge, and it's how we're gonna divide it to pay for the selling agent and for the listing agent. But then they asked me, okay, I will shop around because I know the other agent they can trust me less than your amount.
Okay.
And I kind of want to ask what you're gonna say to them.
Well, that's normal because they're the one writing the check. They're paying you, right? Well, I guess what you can tell the seller, thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Seller. And I think you haven't seen the value on my services yet. Let me show you the 17 things that I'm gonna do to sell your home. Number 1, basically we're gonna put it on the MLS. Number 2, blah 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 blah. You show them the 17 things you're gonna do to sell a home. So if you want me to charge you 4%, which one of this would you like me to eliminate? To charge you 4%.
That's what I discussed with TK that we should have prepare what's the services we have shown on the paper.
And that shows it already. It's a general outline. So you don't even have to prepare. A lot of it's already there for you. So it's just that you have to have it ready for that presentation. You just have to have it. Something that you don't give it to them, but something that you carry with you during your presentations, because if you do get that objection, you'll have that document to reference
Secret
to.
weapon.
So you'll have it with you.
Actually, yeah, it is a guideline to make them make the seller at ease. Why are we selling 6%? Why are we charging 6% or 5%? You know, I mean, because that's our minimum, no less than 5%. As a company wide here, if we can charge 5%, you know, bottom line, I think we're going somewhere.
It's good, the question, what item you want me to take off the list. They would not want you to take.
We
Yeah,
should
yeah.
have a list, we should have a list.
They would want
I think we
everything in
already
there.
have it, right? Just kind of.
Okay.
But we go into the details maybe in other sections. Okay, so this is just today,
That's it?
this is what we
That concludes our sales training today.
That's very good.
And hopefully,
Wow.